main goal is obviously coming off of Boston, had a great result, and with that, we want to recover, feel good, make sure, you know, there's no aches or pains that pop up and stuff like that. And so with Rory right now, he's feeling good. And so main focus is just listening to the body, making sure we're not overdoing it or anything like that, or, you know, just, you know, as workouts start, making sure, okay, how's the body feel after, what's the fatigue level, stuff like that, and just monitoring all of that. And that's kind of what's going to set us up best. I think the only reason why it's kind of possible to do the back-to-back now are these shoes. You're able to, walk after a marathon now versus previously it was, you know, you're hobbling around for days on days. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason for it. And he's excited for Ottawa and ready to go rip it. If he came off of Boston, he could barely walk, and you know, the like hamstrings were super sore, quads or knees or something was banged up, then, you know, we would immediately think about like being smart and maybe pulling out of Ottawa. But that's not the case here. Everything's feeling good. He's recovering really well off of workouts, so we're giving him, you know, stimulus, and he's adapting to the stimulus, and we're seeing that. And so that's kind of the best thing possible. We're not going to make a habit out of this by any means, but I think with it being, you know, a major Canadian marathon, it's you know, something to, you know, not shy away from, and he has to be ready to go for it, and so we're excited for that. His mileage is going to be backed off a hair. The big thing is we don't want to, you know, he just came off an amazing result in Boston, and what we don't want to do is overcook him now. You know, clearly the fitness is there, and so the way I'm looking at it is we can kind of only screw it up at this point, more so than anything. And so with that is, you know, we don't want to bury him in mileage or, you know, bury him in workouts. We'll still have some good sessions in here, but the main focus more than anything is to like not screw it up. And, you know, obviously we'll build a little bit of fitness between now and Ottawa, but the main focus is, like fatigue levels.
This cup of coffee is this? Is John just throwing shit on my truck? Coffee, smoothie, what does he think this is?
John said if you needed him, he's talking to his favorite athlete right now.
Philly? Classic. He always tries to steal the show. She probably asked him, when's Rory working out? I want to give you a call.
I don't know if you know this about me yet, but
Creature of habit?
yes. So for 3 months, I will drink smoothies every morning.
And then you'll switch to a bagel.
And then at some point, I'm going to go, this is tasting like a smoothie. I don't want it anymore. And I'm going to
become a bagel guy.
And then again, I'll do bagel, or I'll do eggs. And then when the eggs taste like eggs, I'm going to switch again.
There you go.
Sometimes I will do yogurt. Yogurt's another one.
Okay. I've only seen the bagel in the smoothie so far.
It might be, it's rare that I'll go from smoothie back to bagel. I'll probably go to yogurt next, in all honesty.
Yogurt? Yeah. All right, today we're going to debut the Tango Mango Blank Sports Nutrition. I was drinking Blanks in my bottle, the high carb mix, lemon lime flavor, but Mike at Blanks was kind enough to make me my own flavored Tango Mango with a little, get a close up of this. Look at that. I don't know if that's exactly what my flow looks like. Ears look a little big, but I like the gesture. Yeah, so today we're gonna be rocking exclusively Blanks in the bottles. We got the tangerine hydrogel mix in this bottle, and we got high carb mix in this bottle. And yeah, I'm excited about this. We've been talking about partnering with Blanks. I've been using them for the better part of a year. They've only been around for just over a year, and they're a Flagstaff-based company, and I believe in what they're doing. And I'm gonna throw a 10% off code in the description, a link for you to follow. It's Rory10. But yeah, we're gonna encourage you to try that out.
Cool. Yeah, so today we're doing a 12-mile progression run, just a slight progression out on Lake Mary. We're starting at mile 0, so we're gonna get a little extra hills in here. Goal with this is, again, we're just trying to get a longer effort in the scheme of things when it comes to coming off of Boston and looking towards Ottawa. It's not a, super hard day. That's not the goal with it, but it's definitely not an easy day. It's a long, steady effort for sure. Later this week, we're gonna do some 2-mile repeats. Again, just at some threshold similar to what we did with Double T last week. Just some 2 mile repeats, just slightly less volume to kind of keep things in check. We'll probably keep things controlled. If Rory wants to push it a little bit on the end, we could, but we'll kind of keep it in mind. But yeah, we're at the halfway point right now, leading into Ottawa, and we're talking about just keeping an eye on fatigue. Fatigue has been feeling good. He hasn't felt anything extra or anything like that, so we're in a good spot, ready to look towards Ottawa and keep crushing it. So.
Okay, so we are about halfway between Boston and Ottawa. It was a 34-day window to recover from Boston. I came off it pretty smooth, actually. Took a day off, rebuilt my mileage super slowly, kind of like 4, 6, 8 miles, kind of building up. Did my first like little mini session long run the Sunday after Boston, and then had my first full week of training last week. Capped off with like 105 miles, couple workouts, double threshold in there. And this is gonna be like the last full week where we are hitting key sessions, kind of like simulating the marathon. Today is 12 miles at marathon-ish effort on Lake Mary. So we're gonna give it a good rip and see where the fitness is post Boston, really what the body is giving us. We're gonna try to not fight anything, try to make it as natural as possible with what my body has, knowing that I just put like a massive effort into my body 16 days ago, 15 days ago at Boston. So just gonna be as smart as I can about how hard I'm pushing myself in this window between Boston and Ottawa, knowing that the fitness is there and all I can really do is screw it up. I would say that the hardest thing about coming off of a race like Boston is like moving on past it and moving on to the next thing, and coming off that high of, you know, hitting a big goal and knocking one out of the park and feeling like pretty satisfied with how things went. For me, it's been a bit weird. It's been a little bit like I'm going through the motions, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think sometimes when you're fit and you're coming off something like that, it's okay to kind of just like go to practice, get the work in, not overthink it, not be like fired up, light the world on fire all the time. That's not a sustainable way to approach training. So I'm just kind of looking at the time in between Boston and Ottawa as just checking boxes, doing the work, and trusting that the training that I did for Boston is still in my legs. Defining success in a race where you're going for the win, I've done this before with, you know, the Canadian Championships I did last year in Vancouver. It's hard to not be objective with the fact that, like, when you're going for the win, is it pass fail if you don't win? Is it a loss? Is it a negative experience if I don't win? I don't think so in this case. Given the context of coming off of Boston and having a tight turnaround and trying to nail this for the first time ever, I think success is just process oriented. It's like being in the race to win the race, and like feeling like I did everything I could to execute a plan that gave me a chance to win. I can't control, you know, what these guys that I'm racing against are doing in the race, but I can just focus on putting myself in the best position possible. And I feel like John and I have a good plan in place to give me the physical tools to do that. And now it's like the mental approach of just running to win and running to put myself in a position to win and trying to have a good day in front of a home crowd and have some fun in the experience. I wanted to push. The headwind started giving me a little bit of a side stitch.
Did you practice the like?
Yeah, I tried to just manage it.
Yeah.
It never got worse, but it was just kind of there. I think if I leave, you know, say I get third place, say I blow up in the last 10K going for the win and fall out of the podium, I think the process would still be a success. Last week we did 20 by 400 on Tuesday as like the first tester workout, and it went, I'd say, as good as you could imagine, 8 days post Boston. And then we did double T on Friday, and I felt awesome. Sunday, 20 miler, felt pretty good. Fatigue has mostly subsided. It's like, you know, maybe I'll have like the occasional easy run where I feel tired still, but I think that the marathon is out of my legs at least, so definitely don't feel any lingering pains from the race or anything. Yeah, this was the first true test. This was the first true test post Boston. Do something sustained, because you can't hide from this kind of workout, whereas like double T and 400s, it's broken, so you can kind of muscle it if you need to. This was the first one where it's like continuous, just find the rhythm and roll, and it's as good as anything else I've ever done on Lake Mary, so I think that bodes pretty well. We already know that the fitness from Boston didn't disappear, so yeah, feeling good. Here, McLean. Hold Daddy's hand. So I've shared 1 or 2, 3 or 4 things of how I recover from the strength and conditioning program I have with Jesse, from my nutrition and fueling plan in races and in training. And I've also shared a little bit about my sauna and massage protocol on this channel, but I was wanting to turn this back to you guys and ask you, if you have any questions about recovery specifically, drop them in the comments, please. I'll get to as many as I can. If you have any questions about how I'm going about specifically this tight turnaround from race to race, or anything along the lines of how I get mentally and physically ready for 2 marathons in 5 weeks. This is obviously the tightest window I've ever done, but this is my 3rd back-to-back marathon, and I feel like I've learned quite a bit about what matters. And in the context of, for me, I feel like it's less about the training and more about how you approach it mentally and physically from a recovery standpoint.